You're going.
Okay, Rich, it's Sunday night. The most important thing on Sunday is now about to happen. If Jesus were here, he would say, this is the most important thing that's happened today. Okay, so this is the dough you saw in a previous video. We made it, actually we started it yesterday. So take your dough, let your dough rise some. If you get it from Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, just let it rise, let it sit out. Make sure that it's pretty warm, and just kind of pat it out. Don't be mean to it. Do not use a roller. That's the worst thing in the world. Do not roll out your pizza dough. And you want to put a little bit of flour on it, but don't go wild with the flour. And then you can once you get it out some, you can just stretch it out a bit with your hands. And if you get a hole, then you just patch it up. Now be gentle with it. This is nice dough. It's like baby skin soft. So we've been working on this dough for a while now, and I don't want to say it's perfected, but we're pretty happy with it. And it comes out real nice and chewy and airy, but it takes a while to get that all worked out. Okay, so the other thing that's real helpful is to have a domestique, and I recommend Lorna as your domestique, but you're going to have to talk with her about that. So my domestique got everything all prepared. So here's what we're going to put on this. Here is minced garlic, and here's fresh oregano. We get our oregano at Lola's. That's the Mexican market, because it is fresher and cheaper than any place else in town. This is fresh basil, and then we're going to put just one slice of prosciutto on. We don't use too much meat, but we've gotten our prosciutto from various places, including the very nice artisan butchery here in town. And as it turns out, the one I like best for pizza is happily also the least expensive, and we get that from Trader Joe's. Okay, now I don't know if you have a pizza peel, but if you don't, you could borrow one of ours. Just put a little flour on your pizza peel, and then just slide your dough on. Some people slide their dough on after they prepare their pizza, but I don't like to do it that way. Okay, so you saw in the previous video, this is some sauce that we had left over, but I don't think we have quite enough in here. But it's the exact same thing that you saw Kathy doing in the video. Maybe we have enough. Nah, not quite. We're going to need a little bit more here. So what I do, I just put it right in the middle, and then you can do this any way you want, but then I take the garlic and the oregano, then I put in a little salt, and then the oil. And I just put all those right in the middle. That way it gets spread pretty evenly. You can always put the oil on later, whatever you like. And then I just take a spoon and spread that all around. Make it nice and even. Get that garlic spread all over. And then try to leave a little bit of room around the edge of the crust with no sauce. Try to get the garlic spread out. My garlic seems to be lumping up in one place. You have to find your own way in this thing. It's just like anything else. Then I like to put the cheese on last. So I take the prosciutto, and really the prosciutto for me is not so you can eat the meat. It just gives it a wonderful flavor, and it's amazing how little you need to get the flavor, and that way your cardiologist is also happy. Not to mention you when you're going up the hill and feeling prosciutto in your heart. Okay, now with the basil, it's nice to dip the basil in the sauce a little bit, and that helps it from burning too much. And everybody has their own opinion as to how much basil you should put on, but I kind of like a lot of basil. I notice most of the Italian guys, and I'm going to send you a link. I'm going to send you a link for what may be the best pizza in the U.S., and he's also a big-time cyclist, so you're going to enjoy it. You need to watch every single video, and if he offered me a job as an understudy, I would quit working for the church immediately. This guy is great. And he's in San Francisco. His name is Anthony Mangieri. He rides Soulcraft bikes, and he was riding those when he was in New York City. So he's out here, and you'll love his videos. Okay, then use fresh mozzarella cheese. The best we've been able to find here locally is at Whole Foods. It's the brand is Buff. Boof. Kathy's got me right. Like Buffalo. Okay, so this is nice. It's a little bit pricey, but it's cheaper than your Porsche, so you can afford it. And there's a guy out in Tamales that is making fresh buffalo mozzarella, but as far as I can tell, he's only selling to restaurants, and it's not available to the public. But if it ever is, then that's where I'm going to start getting our cheese. So my feeling is don't use too much cheese. This is not old Chicago. Okay, now, really preheat your oven far in advance. We let ours warm up for about an hour or so. Even, that only goes to 550. You want it really as hot as you can get it in there. And then just slide it off onto the stone. Sometimes you gotta shake it a bit. Okay, then I usually do it in our oven for 9 minutes, but you're gonna have to figure out what works for you. And we have a convection. I put it on the convection oven setting. Okay, you can turn it off, and we'll turn it back on